Okay, so we're just a couple of 100 metres north of the Gooandra fire trail start, and that's PVC pipe, this is where all that plastic was. So this area is supposed to have been cleaned up, and you can see it's a bit of bitumen with yellow paint on it. Sometimes it's reflective because it's got glass beads in it. That's a bit reflective. So that's bitumen with the yellow line marking paint on it. In the track, this track that never used to be here, and you can see that it's quite boggy. It's a bit after 9:15. There's now just mixed hay, and it's very sloppy. Even though it's frozen, it's very sloppy under the ground here. There's no real control. It's still a hump. So you can walk into the native grass area, and you can see that it's still quite a raised hump with no silt control. And if we look carefully, as I said, you can see the freeze-thaw migration of the soil down slope, and they've thrown all this straw. And this is the area where all the yellow bitumen line marking paint, and there was a lot of plastic, and that's all just yellow bitumen all in here. This track section's all just made up of yellow line marking paint, and there was quite a lot of plastic in the ground around this area. There's that big lump of quartz. Keep walking up to the end of this little track. And when I was here these earlier times, there was quite a lot of broken plastic, builder's plastic, and we're just right about the end now. This is where this dirt pile, which is still here, it's had some straw thrown over it. There's the big rocks. This sort of terminated at these rather large rocks, and there was quite a lot of builder's plastic and shit. So I'm just having a look around. It's a bit harder in the dark. Yep, there's geofabric in the soil. There's some more geofabric. And then up in here there was builder's plastic, black builder's plastic. But it's a bit of a dam just here that they've created with no control. It just sort of flows over on the corner there. It's quite full. It's very turbid. It's actually just got ice starting to form on it. It's pretty chilly. So there does seem to be less plastic, but the bitumen with the yellow line marking paint is still here, and I'll just cast back along the track. So it looks like they have tried to clean it up, but they've now gone and mobilised all this soil, and then they've just thrown hay over the top, and it's still a raised hump of dirt back into the native natural grass that was here. There was no track. So all of this is still imported or foreign, I believe. And now it's got hay from somewhere on the top. And over here it's similar. It's very soft and boggy. It's not consolidating, and there's quite a hard edge. Bit of snow. Quite a hard edge along here, but there does appear to be less plastic. Bit hard to see at night, but I'll give some credit where credit's due. The Future Gen do appear to have put a little bit of effort in to cleaning up a lot of the really bad broken plastic, but that's yellow line marking paint on bitumen, which is not natural ground. So they have made this track with shit that they've milled up off the road or scavenged. There's the really bad section. That's all yellow line marking paint on bitumen in this area. And you can see that the puddles are quite muddy and there's no real erosion control. Again, all this yellow paint. So they've picked up the broken pipe, a lot of it, but they haven't removed the track, which is what we believe they said that they would do. And there's certainly, the track is still clearly here. And it's quite wide, and creating quite a lot of silt and runoff. And here's where the water comes in from the road. So that's water accumulating probably out of the road drain. You can't quite see, but there's a sign straight there. The lights, that's Marika. And this water puddle is now breaching over this dam wall, as it were, and it's breaching into and flowing. You can see it's trickling. It's flowing into the track, and then of course filling up all of these puddles and then flowing out the other side through here, and it's carrying out into the environment. Here you can see that water flow, which is through the straw. No hay bales, no consolidation, and you can see all the mud that is migrating and the sand, and all of that is now migrating into the grass environment downslope, which is what I've said, that there's no effort. So that's where it's been breached and it's just eroding. And so the issue at hand here is the parks, Snowy, Future Gen, Environment Minister, they're all criticising the horse for damaging the waterways, and yet it's actually Future Gen's track that they made. This track never existed. It was made by Future Gen. I don't believe it was ever part of any plan, and they want to blame the horse for this. So, credit where credit's due. They have cleaned up the plastic, but they have not reinstated the track back to natural grassy ground, which is what we've been told that they were doing. And this video is 9:21 p.m. Tuesday, 11th of July 2023, and quite clearly the track in its full glory is still here. I make this video so we can forward it on to the relevant interested parties.